Next up, so last week, Yellow Beezy got snatched up for his alleged role in the murder for hire plot that resulted in the death of another Dallas rapper, Mo 3, who was killed on the I-35 highway. Um, Initially, he was being held on $2 million bond, but just last week he had his first court appearance, and the judge had dropped him from 2 million down to 750K. Now, Yella Beezy is being charged by the state of Texas, which had the death penalty, meaning that since he's facing capital murder, he could end up with the death penalty if convicted or found guilty. Uh, the district attorney discussed 6 pieces of evidence they intended to use to prove that their case, to prove their case, to which Yella Beezy's lawyer didn't object. Mind you, this is merely a formality for a bond hearing where they discuss the defendant's criminal history, the evidence, and nature of the crime to determine the level of threat that the defendant poses to society, to determine how to proceed with bail. You know, like what's too high, what's too low, you know what I mean? Like what number, I guess, justified the risk. Dallas District Attorney spoke about the alleged hitman in the murder for hire plot. Keywan Dontrell White, I believe he's known as also known as like Bando Bling or something like that. He pleaded guilty in May of 2022 to possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The U.S. District Judge Karen Gren Scholar sentenced him to 105 months, which is about 8 years, 9 months. So like he's sitting down for like 9 years while this murder is still pending. So he had not, he's been charged, but he has not been convicted of the murder of Mo 3 or whatever and shit. They just got him on a separate hammer charge, and he was already a felon, so he copping out to that and just going to it. The DA also promised to produce a state's witness who will testify to being present for the orchestration of the hit on Mo 3 and Yella Beezy being both present and involved in the plan. They claim that this witness will also testify to the dollar amount negotiated for the hit and who allegedly was responsible for paying for it. And Marquise Conway, aka Yella Beezy, was a person responsible for paying Keywan White, for the murder of Mo 3. So basically, they got somebody who's gonna put all the pieces together, who's paying for it, who is supposed to do it, and who is supposed to get hit. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole conspiracy there. So the state witness even helped establish a paper trail because he would claim to know that the price negotiated for the hit, which was $40,000, which is the same amount that the prosecutor would say that Yella Beezy made a cash withdrawal for a few days after the murder of Mo 3. When they I guess when they did a investigation on their bank records. They have a witness that was there through every step of the conspiracy, like I was saying, and he's been in the presence of every key player, so this is like bad, you know what I'm saying? Like he told them the 40,000 was paid, and the prosecutors alleging that the 40K Beezy took out, days after the hit was, to complete paying Keywan White or whatever for, sliding on 3. The district attorney would lay out the rest of the parameters of their case and they would play a video of the actual offense, which was submitted into evidence. You know, this is the Mo 3 getting killed on the highway. You know what I'm saying? Run that.
And Your Honor, this is just for context. This is approximately noon on I-35 heading northbound. This video is taken from a Kroger 18-wheeler, and this is heading north I-35 into downtown Dallas on noon on November 11th, 2020. Now, Your Honor, if I could draw the court's attention, if you look on the, I've stopped this video at 19 seconds. You see a gold sedan in the far left lane and a black sedan in the second lane to the left. The gold sedan will be the vehicle carrying the victim, and the black sedan is the vehicle driven by Q1 White, who is then the shooter, based off of the evidence we have. Your Honor, I'm going to stop this at 1 minute and 37 seconds. The victim does not return into the frame.
Yella Beezy's defense attorney would begin calling character witnesses to speak for Beezy's tie to the community and devotion to his family to prove that he wasn't a flight risk. The first and only witness they actually ended up calling was a ALMA Jean Alexander, age 74, who is Yella Beezy's grandmother. I don't know if paternal or maternal, but his grandmother nonetheless, who testified to him being the primary provider for the family through money earned from his music career and his involvement in the lives in his 5 and 7-year-old son, in their lives. And she even referred to him as the Joe Jackson of sports, referring how he pushes his son to be involved in sports like Michael Jackson's father pushed Mike and his brothers to be international superstars.
As far as, does he have any children?
Yes, he has 2 sons,
And how old are his children?
5 and 7.
Is he, have you observed him being involved in his children's life?
Yeah, we go to football games for the little ones all the time. He's always got them in sports.
Okay, so he's out there in the community, coaching up his sons and other kids that play on the football team.
Yeah, I call him the Joe Jackson of the sports.
You call, Joe Jackson being Marquise?
Yeah, Joe Jackson was Michael Jackson's father. You know how he pushed them to be great and good. So I said that's what he's trying to do with his boys.
I'm glad you cleared that up. There's other Joe Jacksons, but yes, I can get that Joe Jackson would be well involved in his family. So
Yeah.
you're telling the judge he's from Dallas County, significant ties, and he's involved with his family. As far as
Now, that was kind of funny to me, you know, because when a lot of people think about Joe Jackson, they think about the stories of how he beat the black off of Michael Jackson until that nigga started walking back. But nah, let me stop. But I think the lawyer peeped it because he cleaned it up for her. And going forward, when cross-examined by the prosecutor, Yella Beezy's grandmother, who, by the way, is a former county clerk for the Dallas County Court, testified that he could not afford to pay $2 million, bail because they're saying that despite him owning like a bulletproof Denali and living in a mansion and all this, he couldn't afford a $2 million bail because if that were the case, he would be out already. Judge Gracie Lewis ultimately decided to reduce Yella Beezy's bond to $750,000 with conditions including an order against contacting any of the victims or witnesses in the case. So if the bond is $750,000, then at 10%, you gotta put up 75 grand. So shouldn't have any issue with that. He's probably out by now. You know what I mean? But Judge Lewis also reprimanded Yella Beezy for appearing not to take the case seriously in reference to a financial statement that was supposed to be put on file for the court in response to the affidavit, and how that gave her cause for concern about whether or not Beezy was taking the allegations against him, seriously. And I'm gonna say, I think Beezy knows that this is like the real deal, Holyfield. I don't think he thinks that these people are playing. Maybe that nigga just feel like, nigga, I'm innocent. Like, it ain't too much I could take serious except my innocence. Now, this is crazy because if any of y'all watch my video, it's crazy that it's popped up now, like so quick, because if any of y'all watch my video on Get Money Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter Armani, getting killed, one of the photos I showed y'all that have been circulating around the internet is of one of the shooters with CJ Casino and Yella Beezy at a Dallas Cowboys game. And I was breaking down how me getting into like the blogging space started off with me covering the Mo 3 situation, but that we weren't going to get into the Yella Beezy story on that trip. But damn, that sure changed a lot in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Now, here's the theory. I wonder if this had anything to do with anything. Like, I'm wondering if the arrest made in the Lil Ronnie murder led someone to connect, someone connected to both situations, spilling the beans for a chance to see some light. I was a fan of Mo 3, not so much Yella Beezy, but free that nigga too. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't picking no side because we all know what was going on, with Mo 3 and all that. And I might even do a breakdown. I don't know, Mo 3 might deserve a Mafia Material profile piece. No bullshit. knowing what I know, you know what I'm saying, and being that bro is past, you know what I mean, we could speak on some things.